know, this project has been great fun. So let me tell you two quick stories that have happened in the last month of travels with Donna Campbell, who takes the pictures for these books. We were in Ocean Isle, and I was thumbing through some local tourist brochure and come to find out that there is a mailbox stuck in a sand dune at the southernmost point of the beach in North Carolina, right before you cross into South Carolina, sort of near Calabash. And that mailbox contains paper and pens, and people hike there. It's in a wildlife preserve, Bird Island. You have to hike down the shore, and you used to have to wade through the inlet to get there. And you can leave a poem or a note. And I thought, well, that's a literary destination. So we set out to the very end of the road, started walking down the boardwalk, saying, I guess this is the way to get to the mailbox. And suddenly two people come up with bicycles on the boardwalk, and the first one, this man, I said, is that mailbox, do you know where that is? And he said, yeah, we were just there. It's down there, and you don't have to wait anymore. The inlet's closed in. And then the next person comes up, a woman, and she says, yeah, and if you're going to take pictures, you better get down there because the light is fading. And I looked at her and I said, Lee Zacharias, who I had not seen in 20 years. But her voice was indelible, and so I'm like, Lee, you're on literary trails now, because I was always worried that I left her out of Greensboro with an excerpt because she mostly writes about elsewhere, and then she proceeded to tell me not only would she give me her picture of the mailbox, but that she had a great piece on Ocracoke that is going to be in book 3. So that was like, whoa, what a day. So then we're taking the ferry to Minnesota Beach. It's a little free ferry from the sort of Havelock side of the bay there over to where Oriental and those other destinations are. And I said to Donna Campbell, okay, I've got 2 passages. One by Janet Lemke, who lives on the river here, and who is always writing about how she lives. The name of her book is River Time. And she says the only time that civilization ever intrudes on her wonderful existence living by the river is when a Marine Corps jet from Cherry Point flies over. And then I have this passage from Pete Hendricks, a Wake Forest novelist. I have this passage from his Vietnam novel about his character who comes home and begins being a test pilot for the Marine Corps, and he's stationed at Cherry Point, and he crashes a jet right into this bay. So I said, Donna, if any jets fly over, get a picture. So we were watching the birds and playing with that funny telescope thing that you put quarters in on the ferry, and suddenly Donna says, there's a jet. I said, get the jet! And I'm like, oh my God! I've never been on a ferry and had a military jet fly over, never. And so she's clicking away, and we get home, and not only did she get the jet, but you can read U.S. Marines on the side. Oh, it was like, cue the jet.